guys, this is not a review or anything, this is just you guys coming along with me tonight while I just do a little bit of practicing. So I recently got rid of the A-Shanks S2 slider because it wasn't getting the desired sliding motions that I wanted. So I've gone and spent money on the Edelkrone system and on the Lumix G7 because I was using my mobile phone to do most of my videography, and what I was finding was, as much as I love the S9 and it's been brilliant, it is time to upgrade. I can't keep saying I'm going to do something and procrastinate and not actually do it. So came to the time where I just needed to pull my finger out and actually do it. I'm not happy with the money I've spent, but I'm not going to get anywhere if I keep faffing about. So what I've got the two head units, and I got the SliderOne. I purchased a relatively cheap pad. This was £50, and this will run the app that controls the systems. I'm using the Lumix G7 for the first time, and I've also got a light that I've made which is on a Manfrotto tripod, which actually needs to be pulled over a bit because it's not centre by a few inches. Now I did this last week with the phone and the slider system, and really enjoyed it, really happy and pleased and all that. One of the things that I found is that because you can do 6 poses with this system, I was doing various different poses with the model that I was using. So I would move to one and then I would think about where I'd want the next pose. So it was already set, and then you move it and you get it right and you set the new pose, and then what you do is you click the previous pose and the system will go back to it, and then you can record and move to the new pose. Now what I was finding was it's out by a frame or two. Now that might not matter, but it just means there's more editing in post because you need to make sure that things are moving smooth, because this will move from pose to pose to pose, but not all at once. So you can move between 2 poses back and forth, but if something like this, you want to show the unit, you want to show the props, and you're going to do like a 360 and stop and focus on certain bits, then you're going to need to stop. But the head one, I think, allows you to move and track at the same time, whereas with this you can get the key positions and then it will slow down and ease into that, and then it will stop, and then it will ramp back up and move to the next position. But you can't select all 6 at the same time, and then it'll move from pose to each pose. You literally press, it'll go to the next pose, and so on and so forth. So you're going to be very mindful of what you're doing with these things. So I'm just going to be playing tonight with the system and the camera, because as I said, this is the first time I've done this. Now I've already set up a few things. So I've already done the white balance using this little white card, and zoomed in and used the white balance to set it so that it matched the key light. I've also set my zebra balances to 2 places. I've got it zebra one set to 95%, only because I don't know how capable this camera is at 100%, so I'm keeping that down to 95, and the second one is at 65%. 5, and the reason really for that is that the grey card, when I got this correctly exposed, as it was going above 65%, it was clipping. So I know that if I want skin off the turntable and another pan head on the SliderOne. Now when you do it in this configuration, one thing you're going to have to note is that one of these has got to be turned vertical. They can't both be flat because the system, the app, thinks that they're both pan heads, and it doesn't allow for 2 pan heads and the slide at the same time. One's got to be tilt, the other one has got to be for the pan, so one has to be on its side because it registers it as a pan. It's like the phones when it's got like, is it a gyroscope or something? It's got one of those in, or something, technology, something similar, so it knows when it's on its side, and then it registers that as the tilt, and then you can use it. So once it's all been set up and it's been registered properly with the app, you can then put it back on its side and then use it to do the movement. So I can do it side to side, parallax, get this to move and do a tilt. So if I want to focus from here to there and have this tilting or rotating, I can do that. So we're just going to mess about tonight and see how things get on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a nice parallax from here to here and just keep focusing on the center. So I can move it all the way over. And I believe it's the tilt. So let's see how far I can get without like that. So I'm going to set that as my pose 1. Set the next bit as my pose 2. Okay, now I'm doing a lot of trusting with it because it is a small screen. What I was finding with the phone is bigger, obviously, and you can, with Filmic Pro, you can set it to full screen and make sure everything is. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Tit. So I'm going to set that as pose 2. I'm not going to record just yet. I'm just going to see how it's doing and check the motion. I really should set that faster. Currently got it at 37%. And that is easing in. Because I'm not recording. And that was the cat. I think the cat wants to go out. So 37%, and it's going to take, I think it's 60 seconds. So I'm using the Cinity profile. I've got it on MP4 and 24 frames a second. So my shutter speed is currently at 550, and my aperture is now not happy with. I didn't get the crosshair